Today on M&B Media TV, we have Miss Amber Atkins on with us today to share her journey growing up in the city of Portsmouth, Virginia. So Amber, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me, Chuck.
I appreciate you. You're welcome. So we love to jump right in our interviews to have those genuine conversations with genuine people just like yourself. And as we stated, you're from Portsmouth, Virginia. So how was it for you growing up in the city of Portsmouth?
Well, I'm actually from Chesapeake.
Okay.
But I grew up in both. I grew up in Chesapeake, Western Branch area. Mm-hmm. But I also had my Portsmouth friends. So I live a fun life. It was regular having two sets of friends. My white friends and, my Portsmouth friends.
So in Chesapeake, you was so you was more in Chesapeake versus Portsmouth.
Yeah, but I hung out Southside.
Okay.
Yep, I hung out Southside. So I consider myself to be a Southside girl too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was Southside? Was it,
Southside was fine.
Okay.
Back then we had the Amber Fest.
Yeah.
Hanging out, cookout, Douglas Park Field. So back then we was kids. We was fine. We was hanging out. We want no violence, won't fight. So,
good times back then, right?
Definitely good times. Definitely.
Yeah. So you mentioned to me about you having kidney disease, kidney disease. Can you share a bit about your journey and how it has shaped your life today?
Yes. Well, I actually found out in 2012 that I have polycystic kidney disease, which means it's hereditary. However, we're not sure where that came from because nobody has it on either side. As far as it shaping my life, to be honest, it really haven't affected me. I've had to be more mindful of what I intake, as far as food, salt, things of that nature. But I didn't know the severity at that time like I do now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just going as normal?
I'm on dialysis now.
Gotcha.
I actually been on for a year as of yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You can never tell.
And thank you. Praise God.
Like people say you don't look like what you've been through.
Yeah. He's carrying me. For sure.
Wow.
For sure.
So how many times out of the week do you do that?
Every day.
Every day?
Every night. I'm on my machine for 5 hours. Yeah.
In your house or you have?
In my house. I do PD. So that means I do my dialysis from home. It deals with basically sugar water, not blood. And I have a catheter that's in my stomach.
Got you.
And I hook up to my machine and I stay on for 5 hours while I'm asleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So how do you get through those moments? Just
God.
Wow.
God carries me. I guess because I have a solid foundation. And I'm grateful. I changed my perspective because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be here with my kids. So I'm grateful for it.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Let's talk about this. Let's go here. You said that you were once a tarot card reader, but now you're a born-again Christian.
Yes.
What led you to make that decision of leaving a tarot card reader and embrace Christianity?
I left Virginia back in 2018. And at that time, my brother had passed a little bit before that. So I went through this area of unlearning to relearn. And my friend actually gifted me a tarot card deck. Got you. And I remember one night I was sitting on my bed and I was listening to music and I felt like my brother was talking to me, right? But I understand now that was a familiar spirit. So that night I also had my first vision. So I just was like, okay, something strange is going on here. So I got into tarot reading. I started to read people. They was coming to pass. So I was like, okay, this works. So back then I was calling myself a witch, right? I was calling myself a witch.
Wow.
Yes, I was. But I always would say I was a light witch because I knew I would never intentionally do a bad spell or harm anybody. So, I had altars set up in my room. I would do spells, money spells, and it worked. I would give offerings to Oshun, which, if you're not familiar, that's who Beyonce served.
Wow.
Which is the 7 African powers, Orishas. So basically, when I moved, I kept hearing in the spirit to throw away my tarot cards. And I couldn't understand it at the time because I thought, I was actually doing God's work. So when I got to South Carolina, I started to work at a tarot store. And I started to hear it again, throw away tarot cards. So I took a break. And my aunt was like, you should try to go to church. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to church. So I prayed and I asked God if church is where I needed to be at that season. So I went to Fort City Church, Pastor Travis Green. And when I was walking in, he was like, someone came in church today really hesitant. So I took that as my first confirmation. So I left church. I screenshotted their Instagram to my friend. And she was like, wow, this is the pastor who helped me during the darkest time of my life before I moved to Virginia. Took that as my second confirmation. So I went home. I threw away my sage, my crystals, my tarot card decks. I took my altar down. I threw everything away. So I rebranded, right? So I would call myself intuitive life coach. And I would still go on Facebook, and I wouldn't say readings. I would say sessions. So basically, I'll go on live, and I'll still tell people about their life because remind you, I can audibly hear. And it was still coming to pass. So I was like, okay, I'm a prophet. I'm really doing God's work. So my pastor was like, no, that's still demonic. I was like, no, it's not. I don't have any tools. So I prayed and I asked God to give me revelation if what I was doing was demonic. And I remember this night where a girl, she screenshotted me my Cash App. And my Abby on Cash App was a picture of a devil surrounded by fire.
Wow.
So I never did it again.
So did you have a foundation growing up of Christianity or?
Yes. My mother raised me in church, most definitely. But I feel like I was more so forced to go to church. We go to church as kids. We're not really understanding the word. So when I was old enough to make my own decisions, I just did what I wanted to do.
Wow. Because sometimes as kids, we get into stuff because we're rebelling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we tap into stuff. Yeah. And we like it or whatever. So was that your story that you felt it was just something you wanted to do?
No, not at all. I feel like I said, I thought I was unlearning to relearn.
Got you.
But once I had that first vision, I knew, okay, something is going on. Like I have some type of gifts or ability.
But it was just using the wrong
way. So at that
way.
time, I really didn't have as much knowledge as being a prophet as I do now. So I thought the tools was my route. Yeah. Wow. Especially when people talk about African spirituality. Oh, this is what all we knew back in the day. So I thought it was the right thing at the time, but I was serving the kingdom of darkness.
Got you.
Yeah.
I heard you say you prayed while you were still dabbling.
I was still praying the Lord's Prayer every night. Our Father, yes, with art in heaven. Every night I would still say that prayer.
Got you. So that foundation was still there.
Always.
It was still there.
Always,
got you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Looking back, how do you view that experience now compared to where you are spiritually today? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you sense a difference in your life? Because I know when people get born again, there's a change. Did you sense that change?
Most definitely.
Got you. How was that experience?
Well, leaving the kingdom of darkness, I experienced a lot of demonic attacks, a lot of sleep paralysis. A lot of attacks where the demons would actually manifest and reveal their face. Just a lot of spiritual warfare from it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Breaking away from that. You felt that.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So what would you say to somebody that's struggling right now? What would you say to them?
I would say to really learn the foundation of what you're doing. The root, where it comes from, what it really means, what's your attention behind it, because those tools are really demonic. You're really opening up a portal. You're giving the devil an asset, so now you're making an agreement with that thing. Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Because a lot of people, struggle with different things, and they don't know how to get out.
Yeah, because the devil gives blessings too.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that.
Talk about that.
So he's going to give you what your heart desires, but he's also going to take it back plus more. So it's like selling your soul.
Wow.
That's exactly what it is.
It's deep.
Yeah.
So you're free now.
Definitely, thank God. Yes, thank you.
Wow. Amazing. We had your mother on here, Miss Monica Atkins. Shout out to her.
Shout out to you, Mom.
Yeah, sharing her experience of how losing a son to gun violence impacted her life. But you being a sister, how did that experience affect you at that time?
Oh, man. My brother, he was my everything. He was the only person who told me he loved me. He was my first love because my dad was incarcerated from the time I was 3 to 13.
Gotcha.
He was my protector. He was my friend. So it devastated me. I felt like...
You're older?
No, I'm only
older.
31.
Okay.
He's older.
Gotcha.
My brother Marcelo was the oldest. So I'm the baby. So I felt alone.
Wow.
I felt like I didn't have anyone at that time.
You felt like you didn't have any reason to move on at the time?
No, not necessarily, because I still had my daughter.
Okay.
So I know I had to live because of her. I know I had to push through. But at that time, me and my mother relationship wasn't as strong as it is now, nor my brother. So I just felt like I didn't have
You was by yourself?
Yeah.
Wow. So how did you cope? How did you get through? How did you navigate?
Well, back then, I was 21, so...
That's young.
Being transparent, I smoked it away.
Got you.
You know, I drunk it away.
That's real.
Partied it away. Sexed it away.
That's real.
Did everything but sit and feel my emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's how most people get through things.
Yeah.
Cope with it. They medicate.
Yeah.
You know,
so they
the
won't
pain
feel.
away. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. If you could say one thing to someone who has lost a loved one to gun violence, what would it be?
You have to lean on your community, your support system. You have to cry. A lot of people want to be so hard these days, but you have to feel your emotions. That's why we have them. You have to be vulnerable with yourself. Talk about it and give it to God for sure. You got to lay it at His feet. That's the only person who can heal that wound.
Wow. So how are you today?
Today?
Yeah, you know, after that. It's been what, 10 years?
Still cry.
Yeah.
I can weep like it happened yesterday. I just cry. That's the only thing. I cry, I pray, I worship. I go back to the Word.
Gotcha.
And I just give it to God, but I do still cry. It's heavy,
right.
And I'm still grieving. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a day at a time, one day at a time that you...
Definitely have to take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
Grieving doesn't have an expiration date.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You recently located back to Hampton Road, the Hampton Roads area. What's next for you in this new chapter of your life?
Well, back in June of last year, God told me to move to Norfolk.
Talk about that. What?
And I don't understand. I don't understand why at this moment, but I do know I'm here on assignment.
Okay.
So he sent me to come and do training with my pastor. So he is calling me to be a deliverance minister.
So you knew her before you got here?
Yes.
Okay.
I knew her since middle school, actually. Her daughter was one of my good friends. Yep. So I'm actually just here to train, to get developed for ministry.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. So why did you say that before when I asked you that? You don't know why?
I always said I wasn't going to move back here. So I've never pictured this. It was prophesied back in October of 2022. And I told them, I said, I rebuke that because
you didn't want to come
I didn't want to come back.
Why you didn't want to come back?
I just feel like I don't fit in. I know I don't fit in. I feel like I'm too big for...
Explain that. So people can
because
know what you mean.
I come back here and everyone's still doing the same thing that they was doing back in 2018 when I left. They're still clubbing. They're still fighting. There's no mental growth. There's no type of development. There's no character development. It's just nothing but stagnant people.
Got you.
Yeah. So
you feel like you've matured past
Most
that.
definitely.
So it's like, I'm not going back.
Most definitely.
But God told you to come back.
He did.
So now you're here.
And now I'm here.
So what's next?
Ministry.
Yeah.
Connections.
Okay.
Partnerships. I actually just did... This is part of my ministry, which is called Fly Girl in Christ. I have a little girl's boutique, which is called Fashion Mini. And I've been doing that for about 5 years now. I actually just rebranded back in September to where I've done like New York Fashion Week, Philly, Charlotte, South Carolina Fashion Week, DC, things of that nature. So just working with the kids and, whatever door God opens.
So how was being an entrepreneur?
I love being an entrepreneur.
Gotcha.
I know I'm destined to be an entrepreneur because I've never kept a job longer than a year. So working for some other people
just don't work.
No, it doesn't work for me. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So talk about being an entrepreneur and a Christian. That really matters.
Oh, that's good. It does, because actually I just had a moment. Like I said, I just rebranded the Little Girls Boutique back in September, right? But remind you, that's around the time God told me he's calling me to ministry. So once he called me to that, I stopped doing the Fashion Mini Girls Boutique because ministry is the only thing I was focusing on. So now I'm in a place where I'm trying to figure out how I can incorporate the two.
Right.
Because I feel like the way the world is going, ministry is what matters the most. Not material things,
But can I say this? You can't relate the two.
Yeah.
Because you need the finances to fund what you're trying to do, correct? In terms of being, joining the two together, entrepreneurship and being a Christian.
For me, if I'm speaking from the Little Girls Boutique, I would basically join the two by just pouring into them the word.
Okay.
I know before like fashion shows, I would pray with them. So I would use the opportunity to just pour the word into them. Let them know, you're fearfully and wonderfully made.
Okay.
Things like that, yeah.
Okay.
Or even incorporate it on the clothing as well.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. So if people want to connect with you, how can they find you?
My name on Facebook is Amber Atkins. Instagram is I'm Amber Atkins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the little girl's website is thefashionanyway.com.
All right. So you do life coach too?
No, I don't.
You don't do life coach? Okay.
It's a thought. It's a thought.
Okay. I know that's the thing now. Coach.
Prophet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Prophet.
You encourage people.
I'm an encourager.
All right.
But I do know I'm a seer too.
Explain that to people who don't go to church.
So I'm a seer. So I have visions.
Okay.
And I can hear God audibly. So I hear things, I see things, I feel things, I see spirits. So that's pretty much it. Just having a high level of discernment.
Yeah. Got you. A lot of people don't understand that language, so I wanted you to share what that meant so people can understand. Got you. Wow. If you could go back and say something to the 10-year-old Amber, what would it be?
10-year-old Amber, I will let her know to put God first. Read the word, seek him first. I will let her know that she's loved, even when she don't feel that she's loved. I will tell her not to look for validation from people, not to dim her light. I'll tell her that it's okay to be different. It's okay to be set apart. I'll tell her that she's worthy, that she's deserving, and to just love on herself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. When I say the name Monica Atkins, what does that mean to you?
Oh, Monica Atkins. Strength. Strength. Perseverance. My mother's strong. She's a light. She's goofy. I don't think she let a lot of people see that side of her. But definitely strength, power.
Got you.
Chosen one too.
Chosen one? Wow, to do what she's doing?
For sure.
Wow. Yeah. You're a part of Stop the Violence, right?
Now I am.
Got you. What part do you play?
I have no idea.
You just a part of it.
No, but I do payroll. I help her with the paperwork stuff. I work with the kids as well. So wherever she needs me, I'm there.
Got you.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm the spokeswoman, she says.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to Monica.
Shout out to you, Mom.
So after all you've experienced in life, how would you describe Amber Atkins today in
Amber
2025?
Atkins
And we'll end with that.
today. I won't say Amber is whole, but Amber is healed.
Mm.
Amber is peace. Amber is joy. Amber is happiness. Amber is all of the fruits of the Spirit.
Okay.
Amber is prospering. Amber is just on the brink of greatness. Amber is walking in purpose.
Mm-hmm.
All those things, yeah.
You said something. You said Amber is healed,
but not whole.
But not whole. Mm-hmm. You got to explain that to me. What's the two? What's the difference between the two? So people can know. Because a lot of people want to be whole. They want to be healed. So explain it to.
So I feel like in my terms, whole is I'm no longer in bondage. I'm not healing from anything. I don't have any triggers. But being that I'm whole, healed, I've healed in certain aspects, but there's still things that I'm still processing. There's still things that I have to work on with myself. But I'm not who I was back in 2012 or 2016, or that thing can no longer move me, or, that's no longer my stronghold. So I have areas where I am healed, but I also have areas where I'm still healing.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Strong woman.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Very much so. I appreciate you too.
We wish you much success being back in Virginia. We hope that everything that you do,
thank you,
it prospers and works out for you.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for being on.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it.